Okay, so we started a few minutes late to let everybody get to the wrong courtroom and they get redirected to the right courtroom. So we should have everybody where we're supposed to have them, and now we're back up again. Okay, so if you all will look up at the monitors, we do have a couple of people virtual as well. You will see that this is the Spalding County State Court. My name is Josh Thacker. I'm your judge, and this is the bonded arraignment calendar. I want to start out by saying that here in the Spalding County State Court, we believe that each and every one of you, as you interact with this court, deserve the respect and the dignity that you would wish for someone you care about. We will extend that to each and every one of you as we interact with you all here today. Yeah. Okay. Hey, don't talk during court. Our goal is to get you all back to your lives as quick as we can. And we cannot do that if y'all are having sidebar conversations. And frankly, it's distracting to the other people who are trying to pay attention to this very boring and important PowerPoint. All right, virtual people, listen up. Go get, you have received permission to appear virtually. Go get a pen and a piece of paper or some way to capture information for when I talk to you. Wait for me to speak with you directly. You will not be able to unmute yourself until I call on you. All right, cell phones. So everybody here in the courtroom, go ahead and reach into your pockets and purses, pull out that cell phone from wherever you've stashed it, and turn it off. So if it rings after this moment, it means you've ignored my instructions, and that means we have to have a contempt hearing, which I don't want to do, and you don't want me to do. I can go and warn you that. So go ahead and take out your phones and turn them off. Okay, this is the correct courtroom for you if you were arrested for a misdemeanor here in Spalding County. You received a letter in your mailbox telling you to come to court today. If what I'm saying sounds incorrect, then speak with a bailiff out in the hallway, show them your paperwork, and they will get you to the right floor. Today is what's called your arraignment. What that means is I'm going to go over your rights with you and tell you what your options are, and then you or your attorney is going to tell me what to do with your case. You may have a trial. There are two types of trials. There's a jury trial where 6 jurors sit in that box over there to your left to make the guilt or innocence decision on your charges. And then there's a bench trial, and that's where you give me permission to make the guilt or innocence decision with no jury present. You may have a conference with the solicitor's office if you wish. That's this group up here to your left. They represent the state of Georgia. And then you can ask me about an attorney, and I'll point you to this group up here to your right. This is the public defender's office. All right, Miss Karen is here from our Veterans and Mental Health Court. So if you are a current member of our military, or you're a military veteran, or you have a mental health diagnosis, and you want your case dismissed, then that sounds like an off button. That's okay. All right, so if you're representing yourself, speak with our accountability court representative, Miss Karen. If not, if you missed the chance to talk with her, speak with the solicitor's office and see if you are a candidate. If you have an attorney already, just simply speak with your attorneys. Okay, that definitely was not an off button. Whoever that is, step outside. Go. Out you go. I'll extend a little grace. Just go out in the hallway, please. Okay, everybody's charges here are misdemeanors. The average misdemeanor carries a maximum punishment of 12 months to serve in the Spalding County Jail and or a $1,000 fine. A few minor traffic charges like seatbelt have a lower maximum fine, and a few high and aggravated misdemeanors have up to a $5,000 maximum fine. Now, each of you here have the right to a speedy and public jury trial. That's where 6 citizens of Spalding County decide guilt or innocence on each of your charges. Again, you can choose a bench trial. That's where I decide guilt or innocence without a jury present. You can waive your right to a trial and close your case with a plea. I have no preference. You must knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently choose for yourself. You have the right to be presumed innocent, to force the state to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, to cross-examine the state's witnesses, to subpoena your own witnesses and evidence to court. You have the right to testify or not testify. You have the right not to incriminate yourself. And if you choose to remain silent, your silence cannot be held against you. You have the right to an attorney. You may hire your own attorney if you so choose. However, if you cannot afford an attorney, then you may apply today, here in the courtroom, before you leave, with the public defender's office. Now, this is your warning, and I'm amazed at how many people test me on this. If you don't apply ASAP for the public defender's office, then you will very likely hear me say at your next court date, when you ask for continuance, that you have waived the right to apply for their services. Okay. An attorney would help you understand our criminal justice system, would explain what the charges are and what the defenses are to those charges, would file motions on your behalf, engage in plea negotiations. She's trying to get your attention, Harry. Subpoena witnesses and evidence for your defense, conduct a trial on your behalf and make objections, protect your record and appeal a conviction, and otherwise work to protect you. All right, first offender and conditional discharge. I'm responsible for explaining these to you, and here's my best explanation. These each allow you to enter a guilty plea without being convicted. However, you only get one of each for your entire life. So, first offender is for everything but traffic-related charges, so no DUIs. Conditional discharge is for drug-related charges only. Now, a nolo contendere, we call this a nolo plea for short. A nolo plea is where you enter a guilty plea without admitting guilt, and it is available on most all traffic charges, no DUIs. You get one nolo every 5 years, and that's measured from the incident date to the incident date, ticket date to ticket date. The nolo will usually prevent points. It'll usually save your license. It won't help you much if you're under 21. All right. Who here? Anybody here under 21? Raise your hand. Okay, no. No, nobody? Okay. Wait, was there a hand? Are there any defendants here under 21? I saw a hand, I thought, halfway go up. All right, we're good to go. All right, if you are not a U.S. citizen, you need to know that any conviction will very likely have a negative impact on your immigration status. All right, family violence charges. Several of you on this calendar are charged with family violence charges. It's on the title of your charge. That's how you know that you're charged with it. So if you are convicted of that family violence charge, you need to know that you will lose your Georgia weapons carry permit, and then federal law will step in and say that you may never again possess a firearm or ammunition. And that is if you're convicted of your family violence charges. All right, habeas corpus. Weird old law that I'm responsible for explaining to you. Here's my best explanation. If you're convicted of these charges here in this courtroom, you may sue Spalding County civilly over in Superior Court to challenge this conviction. Like I said, weird old law. But for what I need you to remember more than anything else is that for your habeas rights, those of you with just traffic charges, you have 6 months to use those rights before they expire from the date of conviction. And then everything else in this courtroom has, a 12-month window. Okay, so, all right, you may conference today with the solicitor's office, and if that's what you want to do, and if you're representing yourself, then you'll announce conference. You'll remain here in the courtroom with a quick bathroom break until your name is called. If you have an attorney, let your attorney announce for you. That's what you brought them here to do. They'll very likely announce conference on your behalf. Now, the solicitor's office, again, that's this group over here to your left. They represent the state of Georgia. They are not your attorney. If you reach an agreement with them, you can resolve your case today. If you do not reach an agreement with them, you simply tell the solicitor or one of the courts or one of the bailiffs that you wish to have a trial. We'll have you sign the paperwork and move you in that direction. Now, if you are here today and you close your case and you receive probation, you need to know that you'll be supervised by the Spalding County Sentence Enforcement Team. There will be a one-time $25 intake fee per case. 100% of all fines may be worked off with community service work at a rate of $10 per hour. And there will be a $50 per month supervision fee each month until you complete probation. Now, this supervision fee is mandatory, but it can be waived after a separate hearing before me. Now, for those of you that choose to move your case over to the trial calendar, you need to know that all the trials go on the same 2-week trial calendar. And then week 1, you'll be returned to this courtroom for your calendar call. And then we'll all skip a week in the middle for those of you that need a trial. And then in week 2, jury trials and bench trials begin at 9 a.m. sharp. You'll appear each and every day until your case is resolved. We will run 2 or 3 courtrooms in week 2, and we will reach your case for trial. All right, now, do you want to help your friends and family? Because we're still a small enough community where everybody knows somebody who knows everybody. So here's the deal. If you recognize a name of someone who is absent today, call them, tell them to get down here ASAP, and you will definitely save them a great deal of future trouble. All right, so we're about to call the calendar. When you hear your name called, either way, stand up if you are able. If not, simply raise your hand high and get my attention. If you have an attorney, then you've done everything I need you to do, and I just simply need you to remain silent, let your attorney announce for you, and then I'll give you more instructions. For those of you without an attorney, if you do not have an attorney, then you're going to very loudly announce one of the following. So jury trial, bench trial, conference, or attorney. And again, this list is for those of you not represented by an attorney. All right, any housekeeping? We got jail people?
Yeah, the only one, on this calendar is Travis Sanders and Barry Purple.
Oh, okay.
Other than that, it's clear after that. If you check Wednesday, since we got it. I'm doing it now. Okay.
Okay. So just one for today, and he's not yours. Okay.
He's not yet.
Yes. Well, I'm going to put SRD for now, self-represented defendant. Okay. All right. So Andrews will deal with. Do y'all have any housekeeping? You good? Okay. So Andrews will deal with Wednesday morning at 9. I'm gonna have to get used to saying that. Wednesday morning at 9. And he has 2 cases. Okay. Over to you, Mr. Malloy. Robert Barron.
I'm conference room.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Barron. All right, and then I show that Joseph Brown is represented by Mark Hill, and there's a waiver filed. Mark Hill? I'm so sorry. Joseph Brown? All right, we're all good. I don't know Mark Hill. I'm looking forward to meeting him. All right, David, Bruce, or Bice? B-U-I-C-E, Bice? Let me check I have 3 people virtual though. No, not virtual. Granted. I'm assuming the methamphetamine charge is dismissed. Otherwise, it wouldn't be here. So
it's one of those, when
yes.
You started carrying over the FAH case numbers.
Yes.
It brings all the original charges.
Yeah. I'm okay with those being there. It lets me know the history of the case. So, Darian Cantrell. All right. What do you want to do with your case, Mr. Cantrell? All right. I'm going to put you down for a conference to let you. I'd like a recommendation from the solicitor's office. So once you've talked to them, we'll get a plan. Okay. Obi Corley? Corley? No?
That's for bond forfeiture and benchmark.
Granted. James Custer? All right, conference. Thank you. Juan Diaz? Diaz? No?
That's for bond forfeiture and benchmark.
Granted. Gina Drummond?
Here, conference.
Conference. Thank you so much. All right, I show Mr. Malloy back to you. Alexis Duncan.
Conference room.
Thank you. David Duran. All right, Mr. Durham, what's going to happen is in just a little bit, Miss Porter over here on your far right is going to call your name. She'll meet with you, and then she'll give you your next set of instructions. Okay, go on out, please. Whoever that is, go out. Oh, it's okay, yeah, you still got to go out.
If y'all don't mind, stand up so the judge.
Yeah, y'all move your stuff there so she can get by.
It's okay.
All right, so that's the second phone that's rang. I've tried to extend a little bit of grace this morning, but it's hot. I'm uncomfortable and I'm out of patience. So the next person that rings, we will have a contempt hearing. So why doesn't everybody take this moment to absolutely positively make sure your phones are off so that you're not the next volunteer? Because I've been really nice to the first 2, but I'm not going to be nice to the third. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that. So, okay. Thank you all for checking that. All right. Adam Edmondson.
That's how it was your conference.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you very much. You may have a seat.
Judge, there's one more that will be on that page.
Yes.
It's Sailor Carlisle.
Yes. I can see that name, virtual.
22 SR 2208. It's a simple assault.
She's trying to come back in. Is she she's represented by anybody just on the counter? Okay, I'll come back to her. All right, Sailor Carlisle, I'll see you there. I'll come back to you. Christina Farmer. Okay, thank you. I show Billy Fuller as a waiver in a jury trial.
There's a second case.
I'm ready.
Mr. Fuller, 24 SR 0339. That's another DUI.
Is that one also waived with a jury trial?
Yes.
Okay.
Singleton.
All right, so they're all moving together. Thank you for that. And then Gay Woodard is represented by Virgil Brown's office, waiver and jury trial. Okay. Ricky Grisham. Grisham. Oh, that's her out in the hallway.
He's out in the hallway. His phone went off.
Okay. All right. Well, then they all need to go out. Ricky Grisham, she's fine. She's already been disruptive to court today, so I'm very comfortable with her being out in the hallway as well. They can both sit out there.
Okay,
So-
you want me to check to see what he wanted to do?
Yes, that would be wonderful. Thank you,
Is
Mark.
that Griffin?
No, that's our client, Judge. That's Miss,
No, I'm talking about the lady whose phone is still ringing out in the hallway.
That's our client, that's Miss.
Miss Parker's our client.
She's our client.
Great.
We got her
So
attention.
she's spoken. Okay, y'all can tell Margaret, never mind, that she's Jukes.
She was saying that Ricky Grisham is in the hall.
Oh, okay.
That's what I thought you said.
This is why phones drive me crazy. I lose every track of system that I've got.
They've been a problem since they tried to come into the courthouse this morning.
Yeah.
They were trying to bring it up.
I'm going to just stew on that for a minute. Okay, what about Ricky Grisham,
Attorney.
attorney? And he was on time, he was just late, or he's late?
He's out in, his phone went off.
Okay, so he was on time.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just going to put phone next to his name to explain why he's in the hallway.
And alcohol.
So, oh, okay, that's
He's
the guy.
with Parks?
Huh?
He's with Miss Parks?
No.
No.
No,
Oh,
he's separate.
Well, when the thing rang, she pulled it out of her purse and waved it at me.
What
So,
she said she didn't want to do it.
they've been an absolute headache since they tried.
yeah, we can't even get past their case properly. So, okay.
Well, usually it's fiction.
All right. Tisha Harp is Mike Kendall, waiver, jury trial. Okay, it looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4 cases. All right, and then that brings me to Jacqueline Harris. Jacqueline Harris? No,
That's for a bond forfeiture and benchmark.
granted. All right, I show Elizabeth Heath as Michael Brill, jury trial and waiver.
Real,
Yes. Mariah Hightower? Hightower? No,
that's for bond forfeiture and benchmark.
granted. Seamus Holt? Simonius Holt? Oh, yes. All right, now if you're not sure what you're going to do, I'm going to pick for you, but if you have a question, I'm happy to answer it. So are you on, and do you want to talk to, you want to see about getting an attorney? Do you want to have a conference and try to work it out? You tell me. Okay. If your conference is not successful, you need to take quick action to secure the public defender's office, okay? All right. Have a seat. Thank you very much. All right. Looks like 3 cases. William Howard.
Conference.
Thank you. Joni Hurt. Good morning.
Good morning. Conference.
Thank you. Jeremy Jackson. Jackson. Good idea.
That's for a bond forfeiture and benchmark.
Granted.
Yes, Rose.
Don't we have some fans in the basement that we took down there and put in storage?
Oh my God. We do, but they're so loud you wouldn't be able to hear it.
Oh, well, we're thinking about y'all, trying to figure it out. The county, if you want to write a complaint letter, here you go. So for 25 years, I've been in this building. For 25 years, the county has shut the air conditioning off in the summer and the heat off in the winter over the weekend to save money. They turn it on Monday morning. It runs full speed all day to try to get caught up. I'm not convinced we actually save money. They're convinced we are, but it always makes Monday morning either frigid in the winter or sometimes burning up or the opposite in the summer. So sorry, y'all. I've waged that fight for a quarter of a decade and I've lost it.
The weird thing about it is the hallway out there and the entrance back there are perfect.
Well, that's because that's where the vents are. The key vents for the first out air are in the hallways, where the whatever's left over.
So the most important spot are here.
So, okay, but opening that door is very smart. All right, Charles James. Thank you. Mercurio Jimenez.
I think that's Keith Wood's case. He filed a waiver in a church.
Okay, does that sound right to y'all?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
You
Well,
just sent it to me. I'll double check that.
I'll just put a question mark. I'll leave that as it is, and we'll do a question mark. And I can always recall it Wednesday. So, all right, Melanie Jones.
I
That's you.
was wrong.
Thank you. Lauren. Nope, I missed one. Stevie Kaler.
Conference.
Thank you.
And Judge, we found Ms. Kaler's got its second case. It's a ticket 24 TK 0584, and it's on for tomorrow, I believe.
Okay, Miss Kaler, where are you?
Right here.
All right, but call him. I know. Anyway, so you have a second ticket that's on for tomorrow.
It's actually what moved to August.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and deal with all of them today. It's better for both of us if I put all of your cases on the same pathway. So, so I'm going to go ahead and add 24 TK 0584 to this calendar. And you're going to have a conference on both, but either way, they're both going to move forward together on one pathway.
Okay.
So, Lauren Kennedy.
Oh, right here. I'm just gonna try to take it off.
Okay, I'm going to put you down for a conference and you can talk through your options with the solicitor's office. Thank you.
Ms. Kennedy has the same situation as Kaler. She has a ticket.
Okay.
24 TK 0585. That's a child restraint.
That's interesting that the tickets are side by side. That never.
I know that's.
Are y'all connected in any way? That's just a
I think it's
coincidence.
just Apple.
Okay. Okay. Well, Miss Kennedy, I'm moving your ticket to this calendar, and I'm moving both of your cases forward together. It's easier for you and for us. So, so when you get back to your conference, you'll be talking about two cases. Do you understand that? Yes. All right. Tamaris Lewis.
So, Judge, Mr. Lewis was involved in a wreck this morning
Mm.
on I-85. He's on his way. He actually had a trooper call to verify that he had been involved in a wreck.
Okay.
So we're just going to hold for him. I think he's got
Okay.
That's a legitimate excuse.
Yep, that's fine. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a note that my worst case scenario is to recall on 4/17.
He said his GPS said he'd be here at 9:55.
Yeah, that's fine. If he gets here, great. If not, I'll recall it that way. All right, Taiwan Love. Love,
That's for bond forfeiture and benchmark.
granted. All right, I think we'll see Thomas Lyons on the 17th. That's what I have. I have that this was, no, set for June 17th. It's just reset altogether. Dashawn Matthews. Conference, thank you. Jasmine Miley, 2 cases. Miley,
That's for bond forfeiture and benchmark.
granted.
Now, I'm guessing that 21 TK has been reset at the time of it.
It appears that way. I mean, it's a 20, and the other one's a 22 SR. All right, 22 SR, Samuel Morgan,
Attorney.
attorney. All right, thank you very much. All right, I show that Christy Nelms is dead docketed. Milas Nelson.
Please not guilty.
All right, you want me to put you down for a jury trial? I'm sorry. Okay. Do you want to talk to the public defender's office? Okay. Yes and yes and yes. All right. So you sit tight. Wait for Miss Porter to call your name, and then she'll give you your next set of instructions. Michael Ollis.
Yes, attorney.
All right. Thank you very much. Sit tight. Over to you, Mr. Malloy at La Vesta Parks.
Congressman, that's the lady in the wheelchair.
Okay. She's in the wheelchair. So the 2 people that were sitting up there that have been so disruptive are La Vesta Parks, and then back to
Grisham.
Grisham. I literally have phone and alcohol written next to their names. So, okay. All right. Andreas Perez,
Interpreter. Written.
interpreter. That sounds fine.
Is it
June 11th, it was reset for Rachel Layermore as the attorney.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay. Renus Perry. Perry.
that's for bond forfeiture and benchmark?
Granted. Cassenta Pitts.
Here.
All right.
Conference.
Thank you.
Ms. Pitts has the second case, Judge.
All right, go ahead.
It's a 24 SR 265. It's a no license, speeding 45 and a 25 and a hands-free.
All right, Ms. Pitts, where are you? Okay, so I'm adding, do you understand you have a second case that's not on the calendar, but I'm adding it as of this moment? And both of your cases from this moment forward are going to move together. It's easier for you and for us. All right, thank you very much. Corey Roberts. Roberts? No?
That's for bond forfeiture and bench warrant.
Granted. John Roy.
Conference.
All right, thank you. Gerald Sanders.
Yes, conference.
Conference, thank you. All right, I show Jacob Shavers as Virgil Brown's office, waiver, and jury trial. All right, Sherlock is virtual. I'll come back to them in just a minute. Stephen Strickland is McCord. Waive. It's also Balti, and waiver jury trial. Dexter Talmadge. Conference. Thank you, Mr. Talmadge. All right, Christy Thaxton. I show as Singleton.
Yes, I think she is incarcerated.
Okay.
I've spoken with Kara. That's gonna be a plea extension.
Okay.
And there's a waiver.
There's a waiver. Okay. So I'm going to put waiver conference PIA. Y'all will let me know.
Yes.
On 3 cases. Got it. All right. Melissa Ward is a waiver jury trial with Virgil Brown's office. Danny White. Conference. Thank you, Mr. White.
So Judge, he has another case.
Okay.
Mr. White does. It's 23 SR 1046. That's a simple battery and family violence act.
All right. So I'm adding that to this calendar. Mr. White, do you understand that you have 2 different cases?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
Well, that's okay. No one does at this moment. This is why we're just starting this conversation now, which is when you have the conference. But from this moment forward, these 2 cases will move together through the system. So if that other case is scheduled for any other court date, I'm removing it from that court date and putting it here. So it's more respectful of your time. Terrell Williams. Wow. Terrell Williams. Okay.
All right, we'll ask for a bond forfeiture and bench warrant.
I'm not sure what that one is, but I'm just going to mark it as do not reset.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
Yeah.
It's got a family violence in it.
It does?
I asked
Okay.
you not to list the warrant.
I couldn't. Oh, that's because my glasses aren't on. It's been that kind of morning. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay. Reginald Wimbush is y'all's, and y'all filed a waiver on that one? Okay.
Yeah, that we set for May 6th.
Okay. Great. Bradley Wright.
Attorney.
All right. Thank you very much. Sit tight. All right. So I show, I have a handful of folks who are virtual. I'll come back to them and talk to them in a minute. If they want conferences, I'll get the bailiffs to bring them back to y'all. But I can identify everybody except one, so I'll sort all that out when you're gone.
Those folks with permission.
Yeah, I have, here, I can put them up so y'all can see the names.
Curious about John Vaccaro.
Yes, he's there.
So he was one that was trying to log in virtual.
Last week.
Last week, okay, when I was in and out and all that. Okay, so Mr. Fakar is in good hands then.
He was on Tuesday's calendar originally.
Okay, so I'll talk to him. That's not his fault. So,
Jackson's on here. He's bottom of page 5.
yeah.
That's a bad.
So, okay, well, if y'all want to, let's just do a couple announcements, sweep everybody else up. Is there anyone else here whose name was not called? Anyone whose name was not called? There's always one or two. Stand up for me. Y'all stand up. It lets me work our way across. Nice and loud. What is your name?
Amy Freeman.
Freeman?
Yes.
And what are you charged with, Miss Freeman?
Domestic violence.
Okay. Let me see if I can find. Yes, ma'am.
So she's 22 SR 2316. I believe she's got a May arraignment.
2316. Well, she's here now. Y'all want to go ahead and do it? Good job.
I mean, I'll take credit for it, but somebody gave me credit. It's air conditioning.
So,
But I'll take credit.
okay. Do y'all okay talking to her this morning?
Yes.
All right. Do you want to have a conference, or what do you want to do?
I can go conference, 'cause I'm not-
Do what?
I can go conference, 'cause I'm not getting-
Okay.
She needs to set her.
Yeah, we just need to set you for a trial then. Do you want to talk to the public defender's office?
Yeah, I don't know. I ain't guilty.
Yes, and I don't know, or two. So,
I just know I'm completely
okay.
not guilty.
So, hey, listen, just slow down, slow down, slow down. Listen, it is my responsibility to you to make certain that you make an informed and decisive decision on what you want to do. Every question I've asked you so far has been, I don't know, and maybe, and yes, and no. So let's just take a deep breath, both of us. Ready? I just want to know, do you want representation on your case, or do you want to represent yourself? The public defender's office is available if you'd like to speak with them, and they can represent you. Is that what you want to do? Great. All right, Miss Freeman, grab a seat. Again, it's 22 SR 2316. Miss Porter will talk to you in just a little bit, Miss Freeman. And there's another court date coming up on this case. You're going to ignore that one, and you're going to follow the court date that you're going to get today. Okay? So, all right, good. Thank you. Nice and loud. What's your name? A little bit louder. Page. How do you spell that? Last name.
P-I-G.
And spell your first name for me.
K-Y-L-I-T-F.
He's Paige.
Paig.
Yes, sir.
Is there an E at the end?
Yes, sir.
Can't spell it.
Okay, so he's in the wrong courtroom.
He should be.
Okay, so you've been here all morning in the wrong courtroom. So here's what we're going to do. You need to go up to 4, and you need to tell them that that Judge Thacker. I don't know what good this is going to do you, but this is your only option. You tell them that you were on time to Judge Thacker's courtroom, and if you need them to confirm it, Piper's calling it up right now. I can't promise you that's going to work, but it's the best I can do for you. Okay? All right, go to 4. And we are radioing up ahead of you that you were on time to our in the wrong courtroom. You tell him he's already been fully advised of all of his rights. I don't know. Okay. Anybody else whose name was not called? Okay. Mr. Shepard, the floor is yours. Oh, there's one more. What's your name? Favors.
Judge, Miss Favors, she's entering accountability court. Has she already come in? Has she already come in? She's already done the contract. So all she needs to do her plea this morning.
Great. Okay.
I just can't. Miss Favors, do you have an attorney?
No.
I can do that. I can handle all that.
So the plea is written out of here.
All right. And I'm just to say it out loud. This is going to be one of those pleas where I get to the sentencing and then I stop and then we set it aside. Okay. Oh, here. Okay. All right, Miss Favors, Clint, I'm gonna actually pass this to you. She just needs a write sheet.
Oh, yeah, I'm not good.
So, yeah. All right. Mr. Shepard, do you want to make any announcements
Yes.
before I?
All right, good morning, all. I'm Patrick Shepard. I'm the solicitor. That means that I'm the prosecutor. This is Jackie Tony. She's the other solicitor. We'll be the ones to do the conferences this morning. There's a good many of you who have an attorney. If you have an attorney, follow your attorney's instructions for the rest of the morning. We can't speak with you directly because of ethical rules. So what we do is we'll give your attorney a plea offer. They'll relay that to you also. Just follow their instructions for the rest of the morning. There's also a good many of you who have asked for a conference. these double doors over here. Do not use that single door over there. If you come through that single door, you will disrupt court, make the judge unhappy, not a good way to start your day. Obviously, there's a lot of y'all, only two of us. We know what we're doing. We move quick. We'll have everybody out here to beat time. Thank you.
And hey, we've ordered a sign for that.
Don't come through that door sign.
Yeah, Hannah took care of it. It's nice. Very nice having you.
It'll cut 5 seconds off my spiel.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tim. To my left,
String mark.
Charles. We are the two attorneys from the defense firm, IE Public Defender's Office. Most of you we've spoken to that we represent, we spoke to you already this morning. Just once the judge leaves the bench, we're going to finish that process. Mr. Charles is going to speak to those folks he's already spoken to. I'm going to speak to folks who I've talked to already. But here's how this works, though. For that to go faster, once the judge leaves the bench, please stay here. Unless you really got to go to the bathroom really bad, please stay here. If you do have to do that, come right back. Because what happens is when we come out, we call your name. If you're not here, I'm going to do what Mr. Charles will do. We're going to put your file at the bottom of the pile. And we'll go on to somebody else. And we'll come back to you. If we call your name a second time, you're not here, and I do that process again, you have to speak to the judge about what's going to happen at that point if you're still here. Because what historically happens or statistically happens, someone just decides to leave for some apparent reason. We don't know why. But help yourself, help us, get you out of here as fast as possible by being here when we're ready to talk to you. Again, most of you, we got your cases in hand, and we're ready to handle that. For those of you who want to apply for our services, this Chastity Porter, my court administrator, will speak to those folks in the back, and you will go through that process this morning. She should tell you pretty much today whether or not you will qualify for our services. If you do, we will handle your case moving forward. If you do not, then it will be your responsibility to represent yourself or hire your own attorney. Because everybody's not going to qualify for the public defender's office, though you may fill out the application. But you will get that information this morning. So again, she's going to do the same thing. She's going to have the list of names of folks who ask for an attorney. When she comes out and calls your name, if you're not here, you're going to go to the bottom of the list, and she's going to go to the next person. If she does that twice, you will have to address the court for why you weren't here after having your name called twice. So I hope everybody understands these, what I'm saying here. Like I said, to help us help you. Like Mr. Shepard said, we do this all the time. We're really good at this, and we'll be finished as fast as possible. But we need your help to do that. Thank you.
All right. So to say the same thing Mr. Malloy said a little bit differently, one of you this morning is statistically likely to volunteer to go to jail. Let me just say that one more time. One of you, on a statistical level, is very likely going to volunteer to go to jail. And how is it going to happen? Exactly the way Mr. Malloy just said it. I don't know where people go. Haircuts, oil changes, I'm not really sure. But every single court date, somebody wanders off and doesn't come back. And I don't know why. And my solution to that, just so that you're well aware, is to issue a bench warrant for you, mark it as a no bond, regardless of your charges, and I'll go see you in a couple of weeks out in the jail because I clearly can't trust you to come to court. So I'm sure that's not going to be any of you all today, but on a statistical level, one of you is going to volunteer to go to jail. And it seems to happen every single court date because my instructions are real straightforward. Here you go. You ready? They're going to be, hey, we're all human. Step to the restroom. Get immediately back to your seats. Like, it's that simple. So here's my instructions. After Miss Middleton calls her round of names, I'm going to let you all step to the restroom and get straight back to your seats. But while y'all are doing that, of course, I'm going to talk to the virtual folks. So if you go out, go quietly. Miss Middleton, you want to call your first round of names?
If I call your name, if you'll go through these double doors, then I'll meet you in the hallway. Excuse me. Darren Contrell, James Custer, Gina Drummond, Simonius Holt, William Howard, Jimmy Hurt, and Charles James.
Okay, so if anybody needs to step to the restroom, go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to call us back to order because I'm going to talk to the virtual people. So you must remain silent while you're in here while I'm doing other business. Okay, so let's do this alphabetically. Let's start with
Melanie Jones.
Carlisle. Carlisle, I've sent you an unmute request.
Yes, sir.
All right, Sailor Carlisle, you there?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, let me turn you up a little bit. You're a little quiet. There we go. I can see you now. All right, let's talk about Piper, you're my hero, man. Thank you. No, not getting anything from me, but thank you.
Judge, say something real quick so you know.
Go ahead.
Can you call Jeremy Jackson? He was with me on the Zoom thing. Our name was together, but he got onto his own Zoom. So I just wanted to let you know that he is present and he's here on
Yes.
first.
And yes, that's all okay. I saw that and we're good. So I saw that he was on yours and then he moved over to his. And frankly, I was grateful for it. It goes easier this way. So, Sailor Carlisle, what is a good phone number for us to reach you if we need to reach out?
205 224 13.
You're breaking up really, really bad. So, can you just do that a little slower?
205 224 1314.
1314. All right, let's just do that one more time because you're still breaking up pretty bad. 205 224 1314.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What do you want to do with your case?
I would like to do conference, I believe.
I'm sorry?
I would like to talk over it and probably see what goes from there.
All right. You want a conference?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Sailor Carlisle, I have everything I need from you this morning. What I'm going to do is have you actually remove yourself from the video conference system. In just a little bit, someone is going to call you from my office at 205 224 1314 to have the conference with you. And then, not from my office, I'm sorry, from the court, it'll be the solicitor's office. And when they finish with that, they'll give you your next set of instructions.
Okay.
All right, so you can go ahead and remove yourself from the system. If I do it from my end, it won't let you back in.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, then the next one is Jackson. Mr. Jackson, I'm sending you an unmute request.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes. So just for record purposes, you're the bottom of page 5. It's 22 SR 2218. I had mistakenly issued a warrant on your case. It should not have been a warrant. You were here. You were virtual. You were just with the other lady that we just spoke to, Miss Carlisle. So what is a good phone number? So I'm just clarifying that, Mr. Jackson. What's a good phone number for us to reach you?
205-899-6254.
All right, 205-899-6254. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And your audio is a million times better than hers, even though y'all are together. So when you're finished, go help her with the audio. All right. So
It's because she's on a phone. I'm on my gaming computer.
oh, see, that makes sense. Okay. So what do you want to do with your case?
I would like to do the same thing she did pretty much because the case for me, it was a lot of issues.
Okay. I'm going to put you down for a conference, let you talk to the solicitor's office. They're going to call you in just to hear a little bit. So I have everything I need from you, Mr. Jackson. I'm going to have you remove yourself from the virtual system here, at which point I will, you'll wait for the phone to ring at that number, and then we'll go from there. Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. You can remove yourself from the system. All right. The next virtual person is Sherlock. All right. Ariel Sherlock, you there?
Hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Perfect.
Okay, good morning.
I see you too. Good morning. May I have a good phone number to reach you?
470-818-0251.
All right. You gave me 470-818-0251.
Correct.
All right. And you are Ariel Sherlock.
Yes, sir.
All right. And what would you like to do with your case?
Attorney.
Attorney. Okay. So what I'm going to do is,
I need a public defender.
yes, I'm great with that. So I'm actually going to mute you here in a second, and I'm going to go ahead and give you your next court date, and then I'm going to give you instructions. We don't do virtual intake here in the courtroom. I'm going to have you call Miss Porter this afternoon.
I live in Indiana, so I won't be able to.
You can call this afternoon. That's okay.
Okay, will you give me the number for me to call?
I'm going to give you all the information you need. We're going to be okay here. Just breathe. So
Oh,
it's
thank
all
you so
going to
much.
it's all going to work itself out. Okay. Oh, you're ready. Oh,
I'm
that's
just really frustrated with this whole situation because I defended myself against my attacker, and I'm very frustrated with this situation.
well. That's what jury trials are for. Is for a jury to hear that, and if that is in fact a true statement, then the jury will be obligated to find you not guilty of your charges. So,
It
so
was-
we'll get there, and the jury will decide whether that is accurate or not. Does that
Yes,
help?
sir. Yes, sir.
All right, you ready to take down some information?
Let me throw my hair up real quick so it doesn't get in my face.
I have not put that in the PowerPoint.
I'm so sorry. It was just getting on my nerves because it kept getting in my face.
Just that's going in the book. Okay, you ready? Well,
Sir, I'm ready.
it's okay. I mean, at least you're not smoking, drinking, or driving. So, or any combination. We've had all
I do
those.
those things.
We've had all those in multiple combinations. So for virtual court. All right.
I have seizures, so I don't drive at all.
Okay. Well, Miss Sherlock, here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to tell you that I'm going to move you over to the jury trial calendar. That's just the next step in the process. I'm going to schedule your calendar call for August 26th, 2024 at 9 a.m. I'm going to go ahead and note that you have permission to.
Can you slow down?
Sure. It's August 26th, 2024.
8/26/2024.
That's correct. At 9 a.m.
Will I be able to do virtual also?
Yes.
Thank you.
If you do not resolve your case on August 26th of 2024, your jury trial week will be scheduled for the week of September 9th, 2024. The week
Okay.
of the 9th.
So that'll be decided later on.
No, I'm telling you when your jury trial is going to be. It's going to be scheduled for the week of September 9th.
Give me 1 second to write that down.
So you will appear in my courtroom in person
On September
9th.
9/9/24.
That's correct. At 9 a.m. And I repeat, there is no virtual option for that. I'm not allowed to do virtual trials.
Let me write that down. All right.
I will also tell you that once you receive the public defender's office, they will talk to you because we have programs and diversion options that do not involve admissions of guilt that let you close your case. So they will explore those options with you. That's just information I'm passing along to you. All right. So, do you understand that this is the only notice you will receive of these of this information, the court dates and stuff?
Yes.
Do you understand that you must appear as I've directed you on these dates?
Yes.
If you miss them, I will issue a warrant for your arrest.
Yes, sir.
That we may be rolling out text notifications. We're working on that. If that happens, we'll send one to 470-818-0251.
As of next month, my phone number might be changing.
Well, if that's the case, just let the public defender's office know. And hey, I don't know who's yawning audibly out there, but knock it off. It is disruptive and frankly a little bit rude. And your parents wouldn't want you to do that. All right. And that it is your responsibility to reach out to the public defender's office. Now, their phone number is 678
678
688
688
8296.
8296. And they will not reach out to me. I have to reach out to them.
That's correct. And if you go to spaldingcounty.com, go to the state court page, you'll find a link to their office, to their website.
All right.
All right. I'm placing here that you are virtual. And if you need to confirm this information, you can go again to the Spalding County State Court page. There's a different link to give you an option to look at our docket, and you can confirm these dates. Probably tomorrow. They'll probably be in tomorrow.
Now, should I go ahead and call today to the public defender's office, or should I wait till tomorrow? Because
No.
I know they're probably busy with court today.
Yes, but you can call this afternoon. So just make sure you call after 2.
After 2. Okay, so that'll be 1 my time, because I'm an hour behind.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ms. Sherlock. You're free to go and follow the directions I've given you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you. All
Bye-bye.
right. Last virtual person is Fakara, John Fakara. Mr. Fakara, are you there? All right, for record purposes, when we get to Mr. Fakara, he has 2 cases, 23 TK 2305 and 23 TK 3833. Both cases are on the trial calendar. There you are. Mr. Fakar, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me okay?
Wonderful. I can hear you great. All right. I understand you were reporting virtually last week, but last week I was out of the office, and I was unable to run the virtual system. So I apologize for the inconvenience that's caused you.
No problem.
So you have 2 cases. You have 23 TK 2305, which is speeding 73 and a 55 and driving with an expired tag. That's set for trial on May 22nd, so next Monday. And then you have 23 TK 3833, which is speeding 77 and 55, and that's also set for trial next Monday. You were here on time for court virtually. Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom?
Yes.
And do you have any questions about what you want to do with your case, whether you want a jury trial or a bench trial or a conference?
I'd like a conference. Right
Okay.
now.
So, Mr. Fakar, what is a, let me make a note here. What's a good phone number for us to reach you?
602 619 7577.
All right, 602-619-7577. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. And is it Fakara? Is that how to say your name?
Yes.
And Mr. Fakara, I don't know why you're virtual. I just know that you were given permission to report virtually. Are you out of the state, or were you just sick, or what was it that was causing you to need to report virtually?
I'm in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Okay. So what I'm going to do then is, so if we end up doing a trial next week, I'll need you to come here, but let's just cross that bridge today as we talk about it. Because if you work it out, we don't have to have you come here. Okay?
Okay.
I'm not allowed to do virtual trials. So that's it. So I'm going to let you talk to the solicitor's office today. They're going to call you at 602-619-7577. At the end of that conference, they will give you your next set of instructions. Okay?
Yes. And when will they be calling, Judge?
Probably about 45 minutes to an hour. That would be my guess.
Okay.
So, okay. So just keep your phone keep your phone in your hand and wait for it to ring. Okay?
Yes. Yeah. I'm 3 hours behind y'all out there.
10, 9. So it's 7:09 where you're at?
Yeah. 7:09.
Okay, perfect. All right. Well, if you'll just give us about 30 minutes, 45 minutes to an hour, and then your phone should ring. It might be a little bit longer, a little bit shorter. It's just when they get a free spot in their conferences.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. I have one more item that's ready, and then I'm going to step off the bench. Favors. Ms. Favors, if you'll step up to the podium. And Kathy, this is going to be a accountability court plea. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. Will you state your name for me?
Lakira Favors.
All right. And Ms. Favors, you have entered into our accountability court program. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. So So here's what we're going to do. I have these two recommendations on your two cases, which are 24 SR 0406 and 24 SR 0018. I also have your right sheet here that I'm holding up. What we're about to do is we're about to enter a plea, but I'm not going to sentence you. I'm going to stop right before we sentence for you to go enter and complete our pretrial, our accountability court program. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. And then once you've successfully completed it, then I believe these two cases, I'm not 100% certain, but it looks like these two cases will be dismissed. Is that your understanding?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's what it looks like to me as well. So you ready to go forward?
Already.
All right, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down. State your full name for me.
Lakira Favors.
Ms. Favors, you're here on two cases, 24 SR 0018 and 24 SR 0406. According to my memory, you were on time for court today. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see that PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir, I did.
Did you understand those rights?
Some of it.
All right.
Some of it.
Do you have any specific questions that I can answer for you about any of those rights that I read out?
No, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to go through some of those rights here to give you a chance to ask questions if you think of any. Do you promise to interrupt me and think, as you think of questions, to ask me those questions?
Yes.
Okay, because that's very important to me that you understand your rights to enter this plea, okay?
Okay.
All right, Ms. Favors. Hey, she's Clint, she's not represented by an attorney. She's got the, yeah, it's okay. Let's go off record. Go for it.
John Michael Custer.
David Durham. Who does that?
Let's go ahead and have her roll up. I'll do that one and this one, and then I'll take a break. That's correct. And I'm going to have you over there at the table, Ms. Parks.
Same as this, it's just a different representation. So you can just zip through.
All right. Mr. Charles, you okay if I go ahead and, because I just realized she's going to need a second. Kathy, is that okay if we swap? All right, so Ms. Favors is filling out some paperwork. I'm going to go ahead and take Ms. Parks' plea to get her on out the door. Ms. Parks, I'm going to place you under oath, okay? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right. State your full name for me.
Sylvester Parks.
Ms. Parks, you were on time for court today. And did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint that I put up on that wall?
Yes, sir.
Now, I don't remember when I had you step out. Was I calling names at that point and had you step out? All right, so you saw the entire PowerPoint that I reviewed.
I was listening. Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Your attorney, Mr. Charles, has passed up to me this attorney and defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time you needed to review it
Yes, sir.
and to ask your attorney any questions you have about it?
Yes. Yes, sir. I did.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes.
Do you, have you had all the time that you need to speak with your attorneys about all aspects of your cases?
Yes, sir. I did.
Are you satisfied with the job they've done on your behalf?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial on your cases?
Yes, sir. I did.
And that by entering these pleas, there will be no trials and these cases will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Parks, do you have any questions for me about any of the rights on here or that I reviewed before I pivot to your attorney?
No, sir.
Okay. Ms. Parks, you are charged with, Mr. Charles, she's charged with one count of DUI from March 7th of 2023 here in Spalding County. Do you stipulate to the factual basis for that charge?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
And Ms. Parks, do you wish to enter a guilty plea to that DUI?
Yes.
Mr. Charles, she's on 23 SR 1544, charged with one count of disorderly conduct from August 29th, 2022, here in Spalding County. Do you stipulate to the factual basis for that charge?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Do you want to enter a guilty plea to that disorderly conduct charge, Ms. Parks?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then I'm going to find that the last case, 23 SR 1944, will be dismissed when we're finished. All right, I'm going to find that between the attorney's stipulations, the factual basis, and Ms. Parks' request to enter a guilty plea, that there's enough for me to take these pleas. I'm going to find that Ms. Parks is knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving her rights and entering this plea. I have reviewed the recommendation, and I will follow it as it's been negotiated. Mr. Charles, anything you wish to add?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, Miss Park is disabled. The first thing is she won't be able to report to probation because of her physical condition. It's not wheelchair accessible. Also, she's only receiving $900 a month in disability. So I spoke to Mr. Shepherd. We don't charge her for the disorderly conduct. However, the DUI, what he wants to do and what we think we should do, even though it's going to be 12 months, but it's going to be carrying over to 24 months because the disorderly conduct will be consecutive. So that way, if she doesn't finish paying for the DUI in the first 12 months, it can be carried over to finish paying.
That's a good plan.
Thank you, Your
I
Honor.
think it's a great plan. I'm happy to follow it.
Right. Thank you, sir.
All right, Ms. Parks, do you have any questions for me?
So I just have to report online, right?
As long as you're in compliance. So, so I'm marking that right now.
Well, I don't live in Griffin right now. You know,
And she lives in Jonesboro.
I
so
live in
she's-
Jonesboro, so
Yeah.
and I'm disabled.
So you're going to be on e-report, just like your attorney has asked. But what I'm saying is you get to stay on e-report as long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. I know, but frankly, you and I already have a relationship that you don't want to have because things were very disruptive in court today. And so I'm simply hedging my bets and saying, if your probation goes about the way court went this morning, you're not going to be on e-report for very long. I'm trusting that it's going to go much better once you go over to the probation side. Okay?
Yes, sir. Can I ask the question?
Well, why don't you ask Mr. Charles
Yeah,
that
Mr.
question
Charles.
first?
No. Okay, Your Honor. I know the community service. She said because of her heart condition, she's disabled. I told her there was sometimes we can do it online, but the court can guide it, or probation can help her.
Yes, they're very creative. They're very good at this.
They will give you ways to do it that you.
They want to help you check this box. There's lots of ways to check this box. So I'm going to let you talk to them about your options. I'm not going to explore them with you from up here.
What is East Side?
That's what I was telling you, do it online. Using
Yeah,
using your.
you just need to talk to them about it. They have lots of options on the table and they'll figure them out. All right. All right. That's her.
That's not me.
That's
It's not me. I know it ain't me.
okay.
And you scared me though. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to go through this.
Okay. All right, Ms. Parks, the sentence of the court is as follows. Count 1 DUI on 23 SR 2033, guilty, 12 months, 1671 is your fine. That's a total of 12 months of probation. You can work off your fine with community service work if you wish. Again, we just talked about that. Just talk to the sentence enforcement. They're very good at finding creative ways for people of all abilities to satisfy their obligations. I think you'll be pleased with the amount of options you have available to you. 1 day to serve in the Spalding County Jail, credit for time served on that. You will not be going back to the Spalding County Jail. Will you be seeking a license? Do you drive at all?
I'm not driving.
Okay.
I don't know about later, but I'm too sick to drive.
Okay. And I'm going to put that you must surrender license. Do you have a license?
So, yes, but I'm not driving right now. So what do I have to do now? I'm in my chair, fully in my chair.
Okay. If you're telling me that you're not driving, I'm just going to mark that you are not going to be a licensed driver. Is that acceptable?
Yes.
Okay.
So I can't ever drive in.
No, it's just while you're on with me. Now, if you need to drive, then you can ask and we can talk about that. But that way I just have an all stop. And I can remove that. I can remove that condition if we need to. But we'll have to talk about it. So,
But if I do decide I need to, I have to come back before me.
you're gonna have to come back and ask him to
And
remove
ask for,
them.
okay.
Yes.
And as long as you're doing good, we'll probably be okay with that. So, all right. So, $25 intake fee, $50 per month supervision fee. This is consecutive to any current state court sentence. $50 in restitution to Spalding County to offset the cost of your attorney. E-report immediately, as long as you're in compliance. 40 hours of community service work, substance abuse evaluation within 90 days, and you must complete your DUI school within 60 days.
Let me ask you this, sir.
Hold on. Your Honor,
Okay.
Yes.
due to a financial situation, can you waive the attorney's fee?
Yes.
Thank you.
No, the classes. How am I gonna take those classes?
Online.
But you gotta pay like $300 or $400 for them. I gotta pay that 60 days as well.
I'll waive the substance abuse. I'm not waiving the DUI
He's
school.
waiving. Waiving.
I'm giving you half of what you want. All right. The sentence of the court on 23 SR 1544, disorderly conduct, no fine. It's consecutive to 23 SR 33, removing the removing the $50 restitution. This is also e-report. And that's the sentence of the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today on the DUI and 12 months from today on the disorderly conduct. If you wish to use your habeas rights, anything you don't complete in the first case will roll over to the second case. All right, that's it. Miss Margaret's going to walk out this way. Miss Middleton, the floor is yours.
Thank you. If I call your name, if you'll go through these double doors, and I'll meet you in the hallway. Stevie Kaler, Lauren Kennedy, Deshaun Matthews, and Cassenta Pitts. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Ms. Favors, you may step up back to the podium. We'll finish your plea and then we'll step up. Oh, Ms. Parks's last case was dismissed. I didn't say that, but I signed it. All right, let's go back on records with Ms. Favors. Ms. Favors had filled out paperwork, but due to no fault of her own, we needed to get her to fill out a different set of similar paperwork. You've now had a chance to do that. Ms. Favors, are you ready to go forward?
Yes, sir.
All right, somebody's got to go nudge her. So, all right, Ms. Favors, we're back on record. I'm holding up this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
Are these your signature? Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes, sir, I did.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Some of it.
All right, well, what on here, I'm going to pass this back to you because that's the second time you said you have things you don't understand. If you will point and ask on specific questions, I will answer them for you.
This one right here.
Piper.
Identity and competence.
Robert.
Identity and competence.
Do what?
Identity and competence.
Okay, so if you'll pass that back, pass me a version. Let's just leave her with that one and just hand me a blank. I don't have an extra copy up here. That way I can look at it word for word. So identity just means that you are Lakira Shunta Favors. Are you Lakira Shunta Favors?
Yes.
Are you the defendant who is charged in this case?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay, so that's identity. Competence means that are you currently, so here's my questions. Are you currently under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
No, sir.
All right. Are you suffering from any mental or physical disability that prevents you from understanding what we're doing today?
A little mental.
Okay. And what is the mental disability that's giving you trouble today?
I suffer with bipolar.
Okay. So that is very much why we would put you in our mental health program.
Yes, sir.
Because of bipolar. My understanding of bipolar, and I may be mistaken, is that it doesn't necessarily disconnect you, such as, you know who I am, right?
Yes, sir.
So who am I? I'm the judge.
Judge.
Yeah, to
Judge,
forget my
sir.
name, just I'm the judge. And so, and you know where we're at.
Yes, sir.
And do you know what we're doing here today?
Yes, sir, I do.
So you tell me what we're doing here today.
going over my charges.
Okay. And what's going to happen at the end of this?
I get a plea of my right.
Okay. And then what am I going to do with this paperwork when we're finished here today? You're going to go do what with Miss Karen?
The accountability court.
And then when you finish that accountability court and you're successful, what's going to happen to these charges?
They'll get dismissed.
Okay. So that's all I need you to make certain you understand, that you
Okay.
understand. So, but yes, I very much respect that you have mental health struggles. That is exactly why we're moving you towards our mental health court so
Yes,
that we
sir.
can provide you assistance with that.
Yes, sir.
And so, is anybody forcing you in any way or coercing you in any way to get you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Okay, then I think we're good. So you still have your form in front of you. Do you have any other questions about anything on the front or back of that form?
No, sir, I don't.
Okay, then Clint, if you'll pass that back up, and we're going to keep moving forward. All right, so Ms. Favors, one last time, are there any questions about this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver that I'm holding up that I can answer for you?
No, sir.
All right. Now, you are charged with one count. I'm so sorry. You have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do? Do you want to represent yourself on this case?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial on each of these two cases?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there's not going to be a trial and these cases will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, Ms. Favors, did you, here in Spalding County, back on May 11th of 2023, operate your motor vehicle while under the influence of alcohol to the extent it was less safe for you to drive? Did you do that? Did you drive while intoxicated to the point where you were a less safe driver, looks like with alcohol? Did you do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then moving over to 24 SR 0406, on August 6th of 2023, did you fail to properly stop for a law enforcement officer who was giving you audible and visual signals to stop your vehicle? And did you fail to stop your vehicle in a timely and appropriate manner?
Yes, sir.
And during that time, were you operating your motor vehicle on a suspended driver's license?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to find with your admission of guilt across both of your cases and all three of your charges that there's enough for me to take these two pleas. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering these pleas. I've reviewed the recommendations, and if it ever becomes necessary for me to sentence you, I will sentence you according to these terms.
Okay.
Now, at this point, I would normally sentence you, but what I'm going to do is, because you're entering our accountability court, what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to simply have you sign these two documents saying that you agree to those terms. So if you'll sign on the defendant line in the bottom left corner there. And Karen, I'm going to have you sign on the witness line. That'll be very clear so I'm going to have Karen sign the witness line. That'll be very clear that she's going to the accountability court. So, all right. So what's going to happen next, Ms. Favors, is when you and I finish, you're going to step over and talk to Ms. Karen. She's going to give you your next set of instructions as to what you're supposed to do next. You probably already know that. I'm just being very careful.
Yes.
I'm going to withhold this. It's going to be attached. The paperwork's all going to be attached to your contracts that you've already signed.
Okay.
Those contracts will be filed with the court. If you once you've successfully completed the program, your pleas will be withdrawn and your cases will be dismissed.
Yes, sir.
If you are unsuccessful in the program, then you'll be brought back to here on any given Thursday, at which point you will be then sentenced according to these terms that are on the paperwork, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm going to pass along these yellow copies to you. These are your copies of what you've decided. I'm going to give these originals. These go to you, Karen? Okay, I'm going to give the originals to Miss Karen. And that's it. Do you have any questions for me at all?
No, sir, I don't.
All right. Congratulations on a path towards a much better life.
Yes.
We've had wonderful success with our accountability program, and welcome to the tribe. So
All right, thank you.
That's what they call themselves. So all right, it's 10:30. I'm gonna put us in recess until 11. So I'm going to step off the bench to 11. And if you'll step over and talk to Miss Karen. If you have questions, talk to the bailiffs. They're very good at what they do, and they'll be happy to. I'm not asking, I just said I'm not answering questions and that you can talk to the bailiffs. All right, that's it. Yeah.
After I take this plea, I'll go talk.
Okay. You ready on yours?
Yes, sir.
All right,
It's done.
Duncan.
Where she go?
Just right there, she just walked out.
Probably step to the restroom. Let's just wait a second and see if she's out in the hallway. I mean, doing well. I've always known that when I was in private practice that if I All right, if you'll raise your right hand for me, do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
My name is Deshaun Matthews.
All right, Mr. Matthews, you're here on 22 SR 1726, and according to my calendar, you are on time for court today. Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Matthews, you have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
And is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Did you see on here where it says you have the right to have an attorney represent you
Yes, sir.
and you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial
Yes, sir.
and that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you, here in Spalding County, back on December 22nd of 2020, operate your motor vehicle here in Spalding County without a valid license?
Yes, sir.
I'm so sorry. Do you want to enter a no-low plea to that charge? Excuse
Yes,
me.
sir.
Are you 21 years of age or older?
I'm older.
And have you used a no-low in the last 5 years?
No, sir.
On this charge? Okay. Then I'm going to find that your request for a no-low on this charge is proper, and I'm going to grant it. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation, and I'll follow it. I do have one question. When this charge first happened, were you arrested?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's fine. That's all I need to know. All right, we're good to go then. Do you have any questions for me about anything?
No, sir.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. Deshaun Matthews on 22 SR 1726. Driving without a license. It's a no-low is granted. 12 months probation. $742.50 is your fine. You may work that off with community service work. Show you valid license to sentence enforcement. No illegal drugs, alcohol, or hemp products should be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver. $50 per month supervision fee. $25 intake fee. This is consecutive to any current sentence, and this will close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court.
Yes, sir.
You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and you have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Are there any questions I can answer for you about anything?
No, sir.
All right, then I'm going to pass you off to Ms. Yarborough. She's going to walk you out those double doors and have you go meet with sentencing.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right. Alexis Duncan. Here she is. All right. All right. If you will, what's your name?
Alexis Mallory Duncan.
All right. If you'll please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right. And so you were on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about any of those rights?
No, sir.
You have, your attorney has passed up to me this attorney and defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Are those your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes, sir.
page 2,
Yes, sir.
and is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
You can go on across, Clint. Oh, you got it? Okay. Clint.
Oh, it's okay. It's all good.
I was late. We are good. Okay, back on record. Are these your initials here?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
And did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it
Yes, sir.
and to ask your attorney any questions you have about it?
Yes, sir.
And because you understood everything that's on this document?
Yes, sir.
All right, so, have you had all the time that you need to speak with your attorneys about all aspects of your case?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with the job they've done on your behalf?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial on your case?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me about anything, no matter how minor, before I pivot to your attorney?
No, sir.
All right. Mr. Malloy, do you stipulate that there's a factual basis for me to accept this DUI from April 7th of 2022
Yes,
here
Your
in
Honor.
Spalding County?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Do you wish to enter a guilty plea to that DUI charge, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm going to find between the attorney's stipulations, the factual basis, and Ms. Duncan's request to enter a plea that there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights in entering this plea. I've reviewed the recommendation and I will be following it. Mr. Malloy, the floor is yours.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Duncan is a single mom of 2 children, ages
10 and 6.
10 and 6. She's 33 years old, Your Honor. This is her first time DUI. So one of the things we want to make the court aware is that she would want to see about getting a limited driving permit. We think she should be eligible for that, but again, we can't control DDS. But because she's concerned about, of course, once this plea goes in, her license will be suspended. And I just explained to her, I asked the court if we were going to kind of go through that process with her. Again, Your Honor, this is the first time DUI. Your judge, I already presented you a letter from Christian Women's Center where she is now in the program and says she's doing really well, that she's getting herself back to recovery from her issues from the past. And she's doing really well, Judge, and I'll take all that into consideration.
All right, and I did read that letter prior to starting the plea, so and cast it back to you. So, okay, so as far as your license goes, did you take the state mandated test or did you refuse the state mandated?
There was blood drawn, Your Honor.
Okay, so it was taken. So the short answer is from the limited information I have here, it seems to me like you should be able to get your license back, or at the very least be able to get a permit. But I'm with Mr. Malloy. I have to be very and say that DDS makes the final decision, and a lot of times there's information we're not aware of that makes them make decisions otherwise. But let me just please hear me say that if there is anything the court can do to assist you, we will. We very much want people to be licensed drivers.
Right.
And we very much want to support people who are trying to get their license back or limited permits or whatnot. So, all right. Hey, zip it or go out in the hallway. So, all right. That was on another matter outside in the gallery for record purposes. All right. So we'll do what we can. I'm not going to take your license today. The way this will work is I'm going to be sentencing you, and then DDS will notify you of what the ramifications will be.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. These are good points. You did a good job for your client. Anything else?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ms. Duncan, do you have any questions for me about anything?
I don't.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you found a stable housing and a stable life And my sincerest hope is that this will not disrupt that. We have a great sentence enforcement team. They're going to assist you through this and help you get this part closed and put us in your rearview mirror.
Thank you.
Okay. Alexis Duncan on 22 SR 2195 from April 7th of 22. Count 1 DUI. I'm going to find you guilty. It's 12 months probation. 1683 is your fine. 1 day to serve in the Spalding County Jail with credit for that 1 day, so you don't have to go back. Counts 2, 3, and 4 are dismissed. You will be required to get your full license reinstated. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products should be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee. This is consecutive to any current sentence. $50 in restitution to Spalding County to offset the cost of your attorney. 40 hours of community service work. Substance abuse evaluation within 90 days. And DUI school within 60 days. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. And you have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. All right, do you have any questions for me about anything before you and I part ways?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Malloy, anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Duncan, Mr. Phillips is going to walk you out those double doors right there and have you go meet with sentence enforcement, and best of luck to you. All right, thank you. All right, Cantrell. All right, if you will please state your full name for me.
Darian Dwayne Cantrell.
All right, Mr. Cantrell, you're here on 23 SR 1795. And you were on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Cantrell, you have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
Because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Cantrell, did you see on here where it says you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, sir.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Cantrell, you are charged with 1 count of disorderly conduct and that you did here in Spalding County act in a disorderly manner in the presence of Debbie Vanderford in a manner that threatened the immediate breach of the peace. Did you do that?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm going to find with your admission of guilt, there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm going to find that you're knowing. Yes.
One thing, she would like, when we can still have contact, she was wanting to bring that to your attention.
Okay, so as far as the recommendation today is no contact. So if I'm going to take the plea today, I'm going to follow the recommendation. Now, if you want me to modify that, there's a procedure for that, and all you need to do is file a very simple motion that says that you would like that modified. The clerk's office will schedule it for a Thursday non-jury hearing date, and then I'll dig more deeply into that question. But as far as today goes, I'm going to follow the recommendation.
Okay,
but if you want it modified, there is a procedure for that. You're not locked out of the courtroom on that question.
All right. Thank you, sir.
So do you want to go forward with it as we are today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you understand what you need to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you can file that, you can file that tomorrow for all purposes. So you can file that as soon as you're ready.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, then, again, I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights. I'm going to find that the plea recommendation is proper, and I'm going to follow it with the advice that I've given you on how to get back into the courtroom if you want to ask me to change it. And any questions for me about anything before I sentence?
No, sir.
You ready for me to sentence?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the sentence of the court then is as follows. Darian Cantrell on 23 SR 1795, count 1, disorderly conduct, guilty, 12 months, 590 is your fine. That's a total of 12 months probation. Show your valid license to sentence enforcement. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products should be tested for those.
Yes, sir.
Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee. This is consecutive to any current sentence. You You may go to non-report once 6 months have passed, no violations have occurred, and all conditions have been met. You're currently set with no contact with Debbie Vanderford.
Yes, sir.
Although, as I've directed you earlier, you can certainly ask me to change that. I'm not telling you that I will, but I am telling you that there is a clear procedure for you to get back in front of me to ask me to change that.
Yes, sir.
You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 12 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights.
All right, yes,
All
sir.
right, if you'll step out those double doors. All right, Kennedy,
Ma'am, ma'am, ma'am.
you come on up, please. All right, you're Lauren Kennedy?
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Kennedy, please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down. Say your full name for me.
Lauren Kennedy.
Ms. Kennedy, you're here on 23 SR 1743, and according to my calendar, you were on time for court. Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
You have passed up to me the self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And are those your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
They are.
Page 2?
They are.
And is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it,
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to have an attorney represent you,
Yes, sir.
and you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
And is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. You also have the right to a jury trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, and this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Kennedy, you are charged with one count of criminal trespass, in that you did here in Spalding County, back on the 29th day of November 2022, did unlawfully enter upon the premises of Walmart after receiving notice from an authorized representative that such entry was forbidden. Did you do that?
I did.
All right. I'm going to find with your admission of guilt, there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation, and I will follow it. Do you have any questions for me about anything before I sentence?
No, I plan on going to pay it off, but they said I can't do it today, but they said I could do it whenever I go up there to the probation office.
Yes, that's correct. Your case is a terminate upon completion.
Okay.
So, okay. All right, so, all right, any other questions?
No, sir.
That's a good question, and the answer is you have the correct procedure in your head.
Okay.
All right, so on on 23 SR 1743, criminal trespass, guilty, 12 months probation, $590 is your fine. Show your valid license to sentence enforcement. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products should be tested for those. $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee. This is consecutive to any current sentence, and your case will close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court.
Okay.
And so anyway, all right, well then, let's see, so we have that. Do you have any other questions for me?
I don't. Thank you.
I'm realizing what's on your shoes, and I was tempted to let it pass, but I just don't think I can. And for the record, I'm looking at your shoes, and I don't care what type of shoes you're wearing, but
Yes,
what
sir.
I do care is that each of your shoes have a marijuana leaf
Yeah,
on
my
them.
birthday is 4/20, and they were a birthday gift,
Well,
and I didn't think anything of it
you should have.
because my birthday's coming up, so I didn't think anything of it. I don't do drugs. I don't do none of that.
Well, I can't let it pass.
Yes, sir.
I'm adding 8 hours of community service work to your sentence. You can spend 8 hours thinking about why you should have taken those little things off your Crocs
Yes,
before
sir.
you came in here.
Judge, she had a second case, the child restraint, my understanding, she's just gonna pay that.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir. I'm about
Okay.
to go down there now and pay it.
Are you going to do that today before you leave the building?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Don't leave the building without closing that case, because otherwise I need to set you for a new court date.
Okay.
It's on for arraignment tomorrow, so she didn't get to pay today.
Oh,
and
well then,
FDA
yeah. Okay. Then either pay it today or come back tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Head back that way. Be more aware of what you're wearing to court next time.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Pitts. Tell me how to pronounce your first name.
Casenta.
Casenta. Names are important. I just want to make certain I was getting it right. And I'm the worst at messing up names. So, all right. Ms. Pitts, if you'll please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right. Take your hand down. State your full name for me.
Casenta Pitts.
All right. And Ms. Pitts, you are here today on two cases, 24 SR 0265 and 23 SR 0418. And you were on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
You have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
Because you understood everything that's on it.
Yes, sir.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
And you have the right to a jury trial, and by entering this plea, there will be no trial. This case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have any questions for me about anything we've covered so far, or anything on this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver?
No, sir.
All right, Ms. Pitts, you're charged in 24 SR 0265 with one count of driving without a valid license. You're 21 years of age or older.
Yes, sir.
Have you used a NOLO on a no valid license charge in the last 5 years?
No, sir.
And are you asking me to accept a NOLO on that charge?
Yes, sir.
All right. And did you also, during the same course of events on July 12th of 2023, operate your motor vehicle at a speed of 39 miles an hour in a 25 mile an hour zone?
Yes, sir.
All right. Moving on to 23 SR 418, did you, here in Spalding County on December 10th, 2021, give a false name to a law enforcement officer in the lawful discharge of obstructing them, not obstructing them, false name in the lawful discharge of their official duties?
Yes, sir.
Now we always do this in these, which is give me your full appropriate name, first, middle, last.
Casenta Janae Pitts.
Okay. And what is your correct birth date?
09/26/1983.
Okay. All right. So then I'm going to find across both cases with your admissions of guilt as to count 2 on the first case and count 1 on the second case. There's as well as your NOLO request for count 1 on the first case. So there's enough for me to take your pleas. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering these pleas. I've reviewed the recommendation and I'll follow them across both cases. Any questions for me about anything before I sentence?
No, sir.
You ready for me to sentence?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Pitts, on 24 SR 0265, count 1, driving without a valid license. I'm going to grant your NOLO. It's 12 months, $750 is your fine. Count 2, speeding, 39 to 25, guilty, 12 months, $232 is your fine. That's a total of 12 months on this case, on 24 SR 0265. Show your valid license to sentence enforcement. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products should be tested for those. $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee, and this is consecutive to any current sentence. All right, that closes out 24 SR 0265. Any questions so far?
No, sir.
All right, moving on to 23 SR 0418, false name to a law enforcement officer, guilty, 12 months, $870 is your fine. This is consecutive to 24 SR 0265, and this case can close the moment 3 months have passed, no violations have occurred, and all conditions have been met. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 12 months from today. You have 12 months today on the false name case and 6 months on the driving without a license case if you wish to use those habeas rights. Do you have any questions for me about anything before we part ways?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Shepherd.
And Judge, that's, Mr. Lewis is the one that had the wreck this morning.
Oh, are you okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm glad you're all right. You look like you're in one piece. So, well, I'm sorry you were late, and more importantly, I'm sorry you were in a wreck, and I'm glad you weren't hurt.
Yes, sir.
So, although you probably need to take some Advil, later on in the day, so. All right, well, Mr. Lewis, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down. State your full name for me.
Mars Amante Lewis.
All right, and Mr. Lewis, you were not here, when I went over the rights, but, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump forward to this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes, sir.
page 2?
Yes, sir.
And is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Are there any questions, no matter how minor, that I can answer for you about anything on this document?
No, sir.
Did you see on here where it says you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, sir.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial on your case?
Yes, sir.
And by entering this plea, there will be no trial, and this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Lewis, you're here on 22 SR 1549. You're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass, and that you are charged that you did here in Spalding County back on April 13th of 2022. You did commit the offense of criminal trespass, and that you did damage the property of Darmisha Mangum, a TV, by throwing it down and breaking it. Did you do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to find with your admission of guilt as to the criminal trespass charge that there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering your plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I'll follow it. Any questions about anything, no matter how minor, that I can answer for you?
No, sir.
Okay. Mr. Lewis, on 22 SR 1549, criminal trespass, guilty, 12 months, 590 is your fine. Show your valid license to sentence enforcement. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products should be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee. This is consecutive to any current sentence. You may be on e-report after orientation. And your case will close once 6 months have passed, no violations have occurred, and all conditions have been met.
Yes, sir.
During this time, you're to have no contact with Ms. Mangum. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 12 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. All right. Any questions for me about anything, no matter how minor?
No, sir.
All right. Then I'm going to pass you off to Ms. Yarborough. She's going to walk you out those double doors back there and have you go meet with sentence enforcement, okay? All right. Thank you. Sanders. All right, if you'll, state your full name for me?
Gerald Bernard Sanders II.
All right, if you'll please raise your right hand.
Yes,
You
sir.
solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Gerald Bernard Sanders II.
Okay, Mr. Sanders, you are here on 23 SR 1757, and according to my calendar, you are on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
You have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes, sir.
page 2,
Yes, sir.
and is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Sanders, you have the right to have an attorney represent you. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And you are here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. Have you used a NOLA? Are you 21 years of age or older?
I'm 23 to be exact.
23. And have you used a NOLO on a suspended license charge in the last 5 years?
No, sir.
And are you asking me to accept a NOLO for driving that occurred here in Spalding County on December 7th, 2022, and resulted in this charge of driving on a suspended license?
I actually have a question about that.
Go
for
ahead.
the first time. I actually want to try the first time.
Oh, the first offender?
Yes, the first offender.
So between those two, that's not, you could use it, but the first offender, the NOLO is really built for this moment.
This moment.
So you're welcome to use the first offender, but most folks do not use a first. A first offender is like bringing a cannon to a sniper rifle competition. I mean, it's a huge fix for a huge problem, and the NOLO is a small fix for a small problem. So if you want to use it, I'll give it to you, but most folks don't use it in your position.
I'll use it.
You'll use it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You understand that if you were to catch a felony anywhere for the rest of your life, and you were to reach for first offender, which is generally the only way to avoid that felony conviction, it would be gone to you.
Yes, sir.
And they would say that you've used it here.
Yes, sir.
And that this will be reported to the Georgia Crime Information Center, which means that there will be a permanent centralized record precluding you from ever using first offender again on anything.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to go out on a limb
Do
and
this
say
to pay and terminate?
it's still paying. It's non-report after 3 months. No, it's not terminate. It's non-report.
No, okay.
I'm just going to go ahead and say I'm just going to ask you one more time. Are you absolutely positively sure that this is what you want to do? It's okay. I just want to make certain the record's very clear, because 15, 20 years from now, there's going to be a record of this, and somebody's going to need to know what happened. So, you good?
Actually, no. I'll back out and do the NOLO.
Okay.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
All right. I'm marking that off.
Yes, sir.
And I think you've made the right call. So,
Yes, sir.
because this NOLO is still going to keep you from showing a conviction.
Yes,
So,
sir.
all right, then we're back to the original terms. Okay, then anything else?
No, sir. I have a valid license now.
Good job. This NOLO will keep you from losing your license again.
Yes, sir.
So just keep that license. So,
Yes, sir.
all right. I'm going to find that your NOLO is proper. I'm going to grant it. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights in entering this plea. I'll read the recommendation and I'll follow it. The sentence of the court is as follows. Count 1, driving while license suspended. The NOLO is granted. 12 months probation, $735 is your fine. That's 12 months total probation. Show your valid license to sentence enforcement. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products should be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee. This is consecutive to any current sentence. And then you can go to non-report once 3 months have passed, no violations have occurred, and all conditions have been met. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and you have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Okay. Any questions for me about anything, no matter how minor, before you and I part ways?
No, sir.
All right. Mr. Taylor's going to walk you out those double doors there and to go meet with sentence enforcement. Good luck to you. Dexter, Talmadge. All right, if you'll please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Dexter Jamel Talmadge.
Mr. Talmadge, you're here on 22 SR 2228. And according to my calendar, you are on time for court. Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint I put up on the wall?
Yes.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes.
You have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes.
Page 2?
Yes.
And is that your signature?
Yes.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time you needed to review it?
Yes.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Talmadge, did you see on here where it says you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Talmadge, you're charged with one count of disorderly conduct and that you did here in Spalding County on July 4th of 2021 act in a disorderly manner in the presence of Felicia Payne in a manner that threatened the immediate breach of the peace. Did you do that?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to find with your admission of guilt, there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights in entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I'll follow it. Any questions about anything before I sentence?
No.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Ms. Dexter Talmadge on 22 SR 2228 from July 4th of 21, count 1, disorderly conduct, guilty, 12 months, 870 is your fine. Show your valid you can work off your fine with community service work. Show your valid license to sentence enforcement. Fourth Amendment waiver, no illegal drugs, alcohol, or hemp products. $25 intake fee. This is consecutive to any current sentence. You may go to non-report once 6 months have passed, no violations have occurred, and all conditions have been met, and no violent contact with Felicia Payne. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and you have 12 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. All right, any questions for me before you and I part ways?
No, sir.
All right, then I'm going to pass you off to Mr. Phillips. He's going to walk you out to sentence enforcement, and good luck to you.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
All right, Danny White. He has 2 cases, and that's the last thing I have up here. All right. Mr. White, please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
All right, take your hand down and state your full name for me.
Danny White.
Mr. White, you're here today on 2 cases. The case on the calendar is 23 SR 1047. Then we're also dealing with 23 SR 1046. You were on time for court today. Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Mr. White, do you you have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
And is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you. Did you see that on here?
Yes, sir.
And you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Mr. White, do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
You, in 23 SR 1046, are charged with 1 count of simple battery, and that you did have unlawful physical contact with Jeremy Pitts here in Spalding County back on June 5th of 2023. Did you do that?
Yes.
And then moving over to 23 SR 1047, count 1, suspended license. Have you used a NOLO on a suspended license in the last 5 years?
Yes.
Okay. Have you used one on a no insurance?
Not on no insurance, no.
Okay. Do you want me to move the no insurance over to a NOLO to try to reduce the suspension that's about to happen to your
Yeah, yes,
license?
sir, please,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, so I'm moving at least the no insurance over, but the suspended license, I can't do anything about.
Yeah.
Okay. So did you here in Spalding County back on November 30th of 2022 operate a motor vehicle while your license to operate motor vehicles was suspended by the state of Georgia?
Yes, sir.
And then have you used it? You said you haven't used it. You're 21 years of age or older?
Yes, sir.
And do you want to use a NOLO on the no insurance charge, count 2?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to find with your admission of guilt that there's enough for me to take your plea on those charges. I'm going to find that your request for a NOLO on count 2 of 1047 is proper, and I'm going to grant it. I reviewed the recommendation that you have negotiated across both of your cases, and I will follow the recommendation. Do you have any questions for me about anything, no matter how minor, before I sentence?
Just what about those on that suspended license? How does the state go about those? Do
So-
they grant me a 6-month permit or work
Well,
permit?
I just don't know what your previous entries are. I just know that you've
Habitual
used them.
violator.
You are?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the short answer is that this will go to that. What you can do is you can go to the Department of Driver Services and get what's called a suspension detail report. They'll tell
Yep.
you about it. But it tells you exactly, you can just describe it. It's it's the report that tells you exactly why your license is suspended. And then underneath it, they provide you with exactly what to do to get it back.
I'm completed all the way up
yeah.
except for this.
Except for this. So, so let's get you past there. You obviously are almost there, or you'd be upstairs in the Superior Court, not down here with us.
Yeah, oh, yeah, no, yeah.
So,
Yeah,
okay.
you just missed it by.
Yeah.
Timing wise, it was.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very close.
I was just sitting here thinking you must have really cut that one close.
On both of them.
Yeah.
I'm a habitual violator and that one.
Okay. Well, that'll work. And you got both cases here, so I think we can be able to get you through this. Okay. Any questions for our sentence?
No, sir.
You ready? Yeah. Danny White on 23 SR 1046, count 1, simple battery, guilty, 12 months, 590 is your fine. You may work off your fine on both cases with community service work. You do need to show a valid license to sentence enforcement. They'll work with you on that. No illegal drugs, alcohol, or hemp products should be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee. This case starts consecutive to any current probation sentence. 20 hours of community service work, no contact whatsoever with Jeremy Pitts. All right, moving on to the second case. Count 1, suspended license. Guilty, 12 months, $735. Count 2, no insurance, NOLO, 12 months, $372.50. This is consecutive to 23 SR 1046. And this case can close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court. All right, you have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have, here, James. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and 6 months from today on the driving offense if you want to use your habeas rights, 12 months on the